Tales from the Crypt opens with a group of tourists getting lost in catacombs. They find a passage where they encounter the Crypt Keeper. Each of the tourists have a story connected to them. All Through the House centers on a scheming wife who kills her husband the same night a maniac dressed as Santa Claus is on the loose. Reflection of Death puts an unfaithful husband in a bizarre situation of everyone being afraid of him. Poetic Justice has an old, timid man that is countlessly bullied by his yuppie neighbors. Wish You Were Here is a variation of The Monkey's Paw, with a wealthy couple making wishes that end up costing them dearly. And then there's Blind Alleys, which has a home for the blind rebelling against their militant manager. The stories themselves are well-paced and make the most of the vignette format. All Through the House, Poetic Justice, and Blind Alleys stand out as the strongest stories. Tales from the Crypt takes itself seriously for the most part, despite the hints of black humor that were a hallmark of the comic series. The bottleneck chaos of a wife murdering her husband while being stalked by a maniac is much easier to stand while Christmas music is playing in the background, a nice audiovisual dichotomy. For a PG film, there are some gruesome moments. The beating heart gift-wrapped, some embalmed intestines, a disembodied hand, and some of the worst-looking fake blood you'll ever see. Director Freddie Francis got his start under Hammer Studios before becoming a regular for Amicus. He was at the helm for Dr. Terror's House of Horrors before being tasked with Tales from the Crypt. He also made a name for himself as a cinematographer. David Lynch's Dune and Martin Scorsese's remake of Cape Fear stand out of that section of his career. Sabatsky himself wrote the script. However, William Gaines, the owner of EC Comics, had final say on the script. Sir Ralph Richardson deadpans it as the Crypt Keeper. He plays the role straight. Those used to John Cassier as the Crypt Keeper will be thrown off by Richardson's more subdued take on the character. Peter Cushing gives the best performance of the whole film as Arthur Grimsdyke. He has a warmth and a genuine sincerity to his character. Just before filming, Cushing's wife Helen passed on, and his grief added much to his performance. This turn made me wish that Cushing dabbled more in dramatic roles. Your heart really goes out to the Grimsdyke character. He's a simple dustman, which is English slang for a garbage man, who is the target of harassment by his neighbors. His dogs are taken away, he loses his job, he's slandered as a filthy old man, even insinuated that he's a pedophile for showing kindness towards the neighborhood children. Other highlights of the cast include Joan Collins, Ian Hendry from Theater of Blood, Richard Green from the Christopher Lee Fu Manchu films, Patrick Magee from A Clockwork Orange, and Nigel Patrick. Overall, Tales from the Crypt is an effective collection of stories elevated by strong performances and bringing a sense of seriousness to the absurdity within these stories.